With all the controversy going around the new Hogwarts Legacy game dropping today for the people who have pre-ordered it on PlayStation and Xbox, etc., I just wanted to touch bases on some of the controversy. You know what I mean, and what's going on with the boycott and everything like that. So this is a thing. This is a writing by Forbes. This was posted today at around 5:18. Let's give you the background, and then we're gonna go into some of the reviews and see what this is really affecting how the game is working. It says J.K. Rowling has regularly come under fire in recent years for her views on biological sex in the transgender community, which many have criticized as transphobic. In June 2020, she ridiculed an article headline for using the phrase "people who menstruate." This is what she said. I'm sure to use the B word for those people. Someone help me out, and a bunch of fucking weird words. Inspiring backlash from critics who said her tweet excludes transgender people. In response to backlash, she tweeted, "If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased," adding that she knows and loves transgender people, but criticizes the alleged erasing of the concept of sex. She also published an essay on her website calling it unsafe to allow any man who believes or feels he is a woman into changing rooms and bathrooms. And she since stirred controversy for authoring a book about a character who was killed after facing accusations of transphobia and for calling Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, who supported a bill making it easier for transgender people to be legally recognized as the preferred gender, a destroyer of women's rights. Her comments have been criticized as transphobic by the LGBTQ rights organization, including the Human Rights Campaign, and the actor from the Harry Potter films have voiced support of the transgender people in response. I think this is great that the Harry Potter actors and the people who have been involved in the films, they support the movement, and I think it's fine, and I think people should be able to live their life whichever way they want. I mean, I don't see a character who was killed for facing accusations of transphobia. This is kind of like, I haven't read the book. I really probably won't read the book. But I do think this falls under the fact that it's like she said some things that people don't like. It doesn't destroy the entire IP. You know what I mean? On top of that, like, we should be living in a place where people can have altering opinions and different opinions without people fucking wanting to attack them. I think that it is a problem though that we seem to be in a point where it's either you agree with one thing and you're good, or you agree or you don't agree with certain things, and then you're automatically a bigot. You're automatically a bad person. You're automatically these things. Like both things to be true. I can support something and not agree with everything that someone's doing. I could like something that somebody did and not agree with everything that they say. I could support someone and not agree with everything that they've said or done. You know what I mean? I can have friends that do stupid things but still love them as my friends. It just comes down to the fact that, you know what I mean, people just, everything in the world seems to be coming off so black and white. You know what I mean? So no, not everything she said is cool. I can understand how some people would find these things offensive, and how this wouldn't agree with the viewpoints for other people. But to sit here and say that now everything needs to be boycotted, F this person, it's just, I think it's just pushing it. So let's see what it says right here. Hogwarts Legacy reviews. Early reviews for the Harry Potter game have been almost uniformly positive, though some publications have declined to review the game or have included statements critical of Rowling or in support of the transgender community in their views. GameSpot, a popular gaming website which has not yet reviewed Hogwarts Legacy, has instead published an article listing charities to support trans people, along with an analysis of Rowling's comments and rising anti-LGBTQ legislation and protests worldwide, the latter authored by Earl. In a positive review, IGN included a statement titled "Concerning J.K. Rowling," affirming the publication's support for human rights and stating the publication's purpose is to answer the questions of whether or not we find Hogwarts Legacy to be fun to play and why. Whether it's ethical to play is a separate but still very important question. Canadian outlet The Gamer said it will not review Hogwarts Legacy to create any online game. And, you know, as a private business and as their own business, they are entitled to do that. You know, they're entitled to review what they want, create content, or create anything that they want. I do agree with the statement made by IGN. We'll skip over to their overall review and like their verdict after this, but I do agree with their statement. You know, their purpose here is to answer if the game, whether or not the game itself is fun and why it's fun, if they found it challenging, if it's worth the play, right? And although there is you know, opinions, and there is things surrounding the creator, R.K. Rowling, I think that it, or J.K. Rowling, sorry, but I do think that should stay separate from the game itself, as the game was created by developers and other people, and they said that she did create the IP, but she didn't have real hands in how the game was made. I mean, the game is really a separate thing. It's just taking the world that she created and applying it to the people. Its giant fan base. I don't see a problem with that. So this is Contra. Though the game's release has inspired vocal critics, it's still on track to sell well and has plenty of supporters who believe Roland's controversy can't be separate from the game, which I agree 100%. You should be able to keep these things separate because that person is not the game being created. Popular streamer SQC, God, who has more than 11 million Twitch followers, criticized people for making others feel bad for purchasing a video game, claiming people fund all sorts of evil with their purchases across the board in way worse ways. It's already a hit on Twitch, where users who have early access are streaming the game. Hogwarts Legacy has more than 1 million views and 120,000 followers on the platform. And that's agreeable right there. People fund all sorts of things, you know what I mean? I personally think that a lot that you know what I mean, that people should be giving back instead of buying crazy $1 million cars. Like, I think that people should be giving back instead of buying Gucci and Balenciaga, and with the whole Balenciaga controversy, you know what I mean, and what was being shown with children and stuff. Like, I didn't see a whole huge boycott from all these people doing that stuff, and I think that is atrocious too. So I personally, where I live, I see people still wearing Balenciaga stuff and still having all their stuff. So I mean, I don't see the huge thing where it's like we have giant businesses and giant corporations that are doing, in my opinion, unethical things that aren't being boycotted or aren't being talked about as much as let's boycott a video game because the person who created the world that the video game is based off of says stuff that we don't like. So there's a crucial quote right here to end this thing. It says, "If you are not willing to give up a piece of entertainment in solidarity against the harm of J.K. Rowling continues to enact, then how can trans people feel assured you'll be willing to fight for us in important areas such as anti-trans violence, be it physical, mental, personal, systemic, or legislative, especially as the discrimination continues to rise?" Okay, so when it comes to anti-trans violence, I don't think anybody should be violent on anybody, and I think violence is bad and it should be condoned on all fronts for any reason and any purpose. Like, you shouldn't be violent on people because you don't agree with the way that they choose to live their life. We live in a place where everyone's entitled to live their life whichever fucking way they want, and if you don't like it, just shut up, keep it yourself. You don't need to be, especially if you're going to go attack people, and it says be it physical, like physical violence it's never okay, and I don't condone it in any way. Mental, I mean, I don't understand mental, where it's like, especially with how the world is today, where it's like mental, personal, like everything isn't an attack. It's not a verbal attack if somebody says they disagree with you. It's not an attack to you if someone says they don't like your opinions, if someone says they think you're dumb, if someone insults you. It's just somebody insulting you, and people have their own opinions. Not everyone's gonna fucking like you. Not everyone's gonna agree with what you think or how you choose to live your life. So fucking be it. Who cares? Just keep on trucking. I'm a firm believer of that. And then that goes into what we got going on right here. So this says you're the villain here. The web developer creates a site to track streamers who play Hogwarts Legacy. Twitter has a meltdown. So it says a web developer has created a website called Have They Streamed the Wizard Game to track streamers who have played the Hogwarts Legacy on Twitch. This comes as the creators have officially started playing the much awaited and debated game on live streams. The debate surrounding Harry Potter title has become a big part of the game's impending release. Activists have called the gamers to boycott due to J.K. Rowling's statements. Meanwhile, many have criticized the creator of the website that tracks streamers, citing issues of targeting harassment and some might face. One Twitter user has even called the creator the villain. And this is from, I'm assuming, a guy who says, "So you created a tool by which people can harass innocent Twitch streamers. Sorry to tell you this, you're the villain." So some people don't agree. You do realize they're using it, and this is correct. This is public information, right? But I think that it comes down to what was the purpose of the site created for. The site was probably created for vindictive purposes. It was probably created so that you could find out who's streaming. You know what I mean? So look up your streamer, see if they stream it, and basically boycott watching them and stop watching them. You know what I mean? And this is the problem. This is like you're so against anybody having any contradicting opinions, even if their opinion isn't even like, say, like they're not against anything, they just want to play a game. Now it's okay to go and target people because they don't want to get involved or mix up video game world with real world politics and real world people's opinions. They're just like, hey, I like Harry Potter, I want to play this game. So then it's okay to backlash on these people, and it's really that's the mob problem I have a problem with. So we got some of the reviews going on right here. This is Metacritic. It shows that the game's already has, from critic reviews, it already has an 86 out of 100, which is amazing, I think. You know what I mean? Positive. Only 4 mixed reviews, and they're way down here. Look at all these 80s. Look at, and they're still 70s. You know what I mean? It seems like it has its little issues, just like majority of games. You know, they got, this is from CNET right here. So it says a joyous school reunion. Thankfully, Hogwarts Legacy doesn't lean too hard into the school settings. You won't have to adhere to a rigid schedule. Instead, you attend class to advance the narrative and add new gameplay elements rather than going because you have to. The world opens up in a big way once you finish your first flying lesson and get on your broom. There is a bit of a learning curve to soaring above it all, but it's exhilarating and highlights the scope of the playing area. Hogwarts Legacy evokes the same magic as the first book's opening chapter, letting you explore a beautiful, realized world, meet a fascinating cast of characters, and embark on your own wizardly career. It's the Harry Potter game fans have been dreaming of for decades. And see, and this is the thing. I mean, I played Quidditch on PS2 in the old Hogwarts game when the old Hogwarts movies came out and everything. And I think this is good to see that even with all this bad stuff going on, the games aren't, they're not dealing with anything. Let's go to the IGN's verdict, okay? Because that's what we really want to know, what their verdict is on the game. In nearly every way, Hogwarts Legacy is the Harry Potter RPG I've always wanted to play. Its open world adventure captures all the excitement and wonder of the wizarding world with its memorable new characters, challenging and nuanced combat, and a wonderfully executed Hogwarts student fantasy that kept me glued to the controller for dozens of hours. It certainly is weighed down by technical issues and lackluster main story and some poor enemy variety. All games have their issues, but even those couldn't come close to breaking the enchanting spell over me. So even with IGN, who made a whole touch basis on everything controversy and everything going on with J.K. Rowling, they even gave the game saying that the game is fun, the game is worth playing, and the game is worth checking out. And I think that really says something, that people are trying to boycott the game, and the game is selling because it really is showing that some people are just sick of people trying to tell them that there's something wrong with them because they don't want to they don't want to give up something that they've liked their whole life because somebody said something about it, or somebody said something that they disagree with. And that we're kind of I feel like hopefully this is us stepping in the right direction of us pushing towards a better way to deal with things, and understanding that just because you don't like something, then you can just not buy it. But there's no reason to sit around and judge people who still want to go do it. You know what I mean? If you want to be vegan, for example, that's cool, but you can't sit around and talk crap about everybody who wants to eat a hamburger. It's just toxic and it's bad, and to be honest, it's just getting old. All right, well, I'm personally gonna still play the game. I'm gonna probably play the game right now and get the deluxe versions, because you get it a few days early if you buy the deluxe pre-order. And I'll have a little update on my opinion of the game later. But I think that if you want to play the game, you should play the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys are you guys looking forward to playing the game? Are you guys not going to play the game? What's your opinions on the whole controversy surrounding the creator, as well as do you think that should stop you from buying and consuming any Harry Potter stuff? So appreciate it, and talk to you soon. Peace.